Welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. This is Crosshair. My name is Dangerous, and this is the show that features runs with bullets. First-person shooters, third-person shooters, shmups, bullet hells, lasers, rockets, grenades, paintballs, and shotgun shells. It's got bullets in it. It's got a home here, Crosshair. If you got a run that you think qualifies for this or any of our other GDQ Hotfix shows, head on over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and fill out that run submission form, and you just might end up on a future episode of the GDQ Hotfix. Folks, we got a lot of positive feedback the last time I did a publisher special. Last time we did id Software, and that episode was titled, It's Gonna Be a Good Day. Chat universally groaned at that title, which I was very saddened by, but today we're gonna do another publisher day. Today is Gearbox, makers of the Borderlands franchise. And we're going to be seeing Borderlands 2 with Unjust Action rounding out the show today. But leading into that, we've got a run that admittedly was not originally published by Gearbox, but Gearbox acquired the property a while back and have since done quite a lot with it. And so to showcase off my probably second favorite roguelite of all time, Risk of Rain 2, we've got Snek here. Snek, welcome to Crosshair. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Feels good to be here, to be on the show.
Heck yeah, it's good to have you here. Tell us a little bit about this category, because this is a category that people are probably not going to quite understand the name of by just looking at it.
Yeah, it's a little funky. The main thing that you need to know, Confused will go more in depth into it, but we're playing on the hardest difficulty, and we're using no artifacts, we're not using lunars, which lunars will drastically speed up the game, so that's very detrimental to the run. But I'm also playing Loader, which is one of my favorite characters, and we're gonna see how fast I can go.
Heck yeah. And then we've got some folks here to do some commentary for the run, if you would like to introduce yourselves as well.
Hello, I'm Cap. I make informative content and speedrun as well.
Hey, I'm Confused. I'm a former any percent world record holder in majority of any percent categories, and I have a few world records in some gauntlet categories as well.
Speedrun moderator.
Yeah.
Nice. Alrighty, yeah, we are ready to get this rolling. Whenever you want to give us a countdown, let's get the show on the road.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like before we start here, like Snek said, this is no lunars, no artifacts on Eclipse 8, which is just a bunch of collective modifiers that make the game harder. We can maybe explain those a little bit in the run when there's maybe some downtime. This category has a category for each and every single character that you see in the top left there. And it also has another category for only the Survivors of the Void DLC. Of course, we're using the Seekers of the Storm DLC, the one made by Gearbox. You know, had to. And also the Survivors of the Void DLC. And I think we're good to go.
All right.
Let's do this.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So stage one's main purpose here is get as much money as possible, as quick as possible. We have to charge a shrine that takes about $75 coming out of stage one. So these blue money barrels, along with Shrine of Blood, which I don't think we see any, but that's ways we can generate money here. Looks like just money barrels so far.
Yeah, lots
Also
of them.
killing enemies. Oh my. That's a lot of money barrels.
Actually, a lot of money barrels.
Killing
Yeah, this is really good.
enemies usually is also a way to get money, but we just like have enough here.
Yeah, we don't even need to kill enemies.
Spawn enemies with Shrines of Combat as well.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Very
Yeah, so
nice.
money barrels actually spawn in groups of 5. So I think we got all 5 on this stage so far.
They're like super close to the shrine as well.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Ooh.
This guy's
Good old
using
halcyon
another
night.
thread. Ooh, Sealed
Ooh,
Star.
good.
Okay.
That's nice. That'll recharge at the start of every single stage, and the first chest you open on every single stage will give an extra item. So that,
Right there.
for how fast we're going, that effectively
That's nice.
doubles the amount of items we get. Like,
And a sticky
Very
bomb
nice,
from
really.
it. Damage item. It's going to rely on RNG procs to proc it, but it is damage.
yeah, just to say, this run and this category and any category in this game is really, really RNG dependent. So things could go south.
Wow.
But hopefully they don't.
Teleporters could get scary.
Already an elder.
And here we see the boss spawning underneath the floor there. So from the teleporters, we mainly want the green item drop instead of the lower chance yellow item drop, since that'll give us a higher chance of getting really good damage items for loader and for this speed run. Mainly the Jaros and Runald's bands, which give you a burst of damage once you deal enough damage to an enemy in a single hit, which is really good for scaling our damage with this loader's punch.
Another big green we're looking for is a luminous shot. It's for a lower grapple cooldown and just for more damage on like TP bosses mainly.
Yep. And one main thing for this survivor loader is that the faster you're swinging, the harder your punch is going to hit. So we're going to want to basically maximize our swing speed, swing momentum to get the most damage out of this punch. We'll see a lot of pretty wicked movement, hopefully. And again, this is Eclipse, so Eclipse 2, the second level of the climbing difficulty in Risk of Rain 2, makes it so that the teleporters are smaller than normal, so it's going to be a lot harder to stay inside that teleporter charge and make sure the percentage keeps going up to 100%.
Yeah.
Wow, you're finding these teleporters like instantly.
They're pretty close.
This stage is pretty small. Yes.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, this is perfect. Okay,
Yes.
this will be good.
Scheming.
Plotting.
Think.
Wow. Now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
We were praying for that
Yeah, that's perfect.
in coming up for this.
So, the pylon, our special ability, the R ability, it throws out like a circular disc, and with the most recent physics update, you can actually boop enemies more consistently with that ability. If you just basically hug some enemies and just use the ability on it, pushes it forward, transferring the momentum. So that's what we saw
Very
there,
nice.
the pylon boop.
I think now's maybe a time where we're not going to talk much.
Yep.
Yeah, I
charging
can
over.
always jump in and let folks know that if you are looking to get more involved with the GDQ community, you can join the official Games Done Quick Discord if you're not already in there, and add the hotfix role. It helps you stay in the loop on upcoming events, chat with staff, and more. Use ! Discord and Twitch chat for an invite and more info. And if you're already in there, you can still add the hotfix role. There's a channel set aside just for doing that. So head on in there, get that rolling. You can keep tabs on everything going on with hotfix.
Might do that myself.
Ooh, that's ridiculous.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's kind of tempting. I'm not gonna do it.
Throw or win?
I don't know.
Maybe you should take
That's a void item that will upgrade your items that you currently have into a higher rarity of that item. So
It's just
I got
making-
rewarded.
it's big gamble, but we have a Jaros band.
Yeah, it's
One of
making
the
the
best
RNG game
items.
even more RNG dependent. It's just not what we want to do.
Yeah,
It's
the
fun.
bloom is
but-
not the play.
So the run does get a little bit more scary Oh, never mind. You just got a Stone Titan.
No, mine
That's
is
free.
free.
Usually on stage 4 and stage 5, it's a lot more like actually threat of dying. But not
Still
this time.
potential here.
Oh,
Yeah, the difficulty ramps here. I know.
yes. Stage 4 is when it starts like outscaling you on level. Nice.
Nice. Well done.
Good punch.
2 lunar coins.
Oh, you're rich.
Yeah, I definitely
many
did
lunar
not
coins.
go into the files and manually edit the one document to give myself 100,000 lunar coins. Nope, never did that. I never.
no one does that.
And you're
No.
lying if you suggested otherwise.
Nick got
Locally
all
sourced
38
only.
million of these. legitimately.
I manually grinded out all 100,000 of those lunar
Yeah.
coins. Yep, sure did.
10 per run at a time.
Yep, exactly.
So now's a good chance to kind of go over our items here. We did get 2 more damage multiplication items, and since they are different from each other, they're going to multiply off of each other for even more damage, along with the ATG that is chance-based extra damage on hit. So looking pretty okay.
Make sure to go get the band, by the way.
Yeah. Could not forget. It's my saving
Yeah,
grace.
yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's an item
that is nice.
that will upgrade that chance-based ATG into a guaranteed proc, less damage,
Yeah.
but very good.
At least when your shield's up.
Maybe confused, you can talk about the equipment now that we're getting this item here.
So, Kara's Band is an item that has a 10-second cooldown every single time you use it, but Blast Shower is the equipment we have is an item that removes all debuffs you have whenever you use it. Now, it wouldn't immediately seem like it, but the Kara's Band debuff of it being off cooldown does actually count as a debuff for Blast Shower, so we can reset the Kara's Band cooldown over and over again with Blast Shower here, and this Fuel Cell, which we got another charge for the Blast Shower with, for a lot more uses of the Kara's Band, which is a lot more damage.
Lots of band uptime, more damage.
Another fuel cell.
And Blast Shower's already low cooldown of 20 seconds is amazing for this as well.
So that shrine we just got there, it gives Snack another a free revive, so this stage should be pretty safe. Very comfy.
Oh boy.
There is a pre-spawn Magworm, which is just another boss that spawned before we entered the stage, so this teleporter could be scary even with the extra revive that we got for free here. But we do have a lot of damage, so it should be fine.
Nice.
Nice, 1 out of 2. Ooh,
Oh, comfy.
And I have a wrap.
nice.
So yeah, flat. What is it? Is it 5 HP?
It's 15,
For
but
damage tick?
because of the
Right.
Eclipse, what is it, 5?
Yep, it's 5.
Eclipse 5, reducing healing by 50%. It's 7.5 health every time you get hit. And Wrap, the first item, Repulsion Armor Plate, decreases the amount of damage you take from attacks by 5. So if you're getting hit for only like 10, you're gonna get hit for 5 and then heal for 7.5, which is just great.
Also, shout out to this stage's music track. Absolutely
yeah.
the bangerest of bangers on the album.
Always.
This game's music in general is very good.
It is, but this stage in particular. is
Brain,
so
formerly
much
known
better.
as Purple. Everyone knows it.
Yep.
Where's a chest for my Soul Star?
wild.
Ooh.
Confused is here. You got to get the war horns.
I swear, some of these items at some point down the road is just like the description might as well say like dealing damage does more damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
That should be good.
Yeah.
So
So
we
we
got
just
another source of damage
exchanged-
multiplication there.
Yeah.
So-
We just exchanged white items that we did have into the damage multiplication printer that was luckily provided to us. So
And I got a
lucky
razor
not
wire.
Printing the other damage multiplication sources away.
And I could never do this trick. I was never able to do this. I got close a couple times, but I could never quite pull it off.
Takes some practice. It's really hard on this version of the game because you kind of have to slow yourself down as well to hit it consistently.
Interesting.
Like you can't just go max speed, but very clean tunnel there. I'm sure Snack lost a lot of sleep about freaking a tunnel.
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty clean.
Holy moly. The damage, though.
Yeah. We got very lucky this round. We have a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, a lot of damage.
And we don't have to wait for the ban cooldowns.
These sticky
nice
bomb
sticky
procs are so good.
Hey.
Yeah. Phase 1 done.
Usually, with the razor wire we got on stage 5, we can just take damage to these lunar wisps to deal a lot of damage to them. But it's not exactly necessary because of the amount of damage that we have, but it's still cool.
Does take away the shield that charges the plasma shrimp for extra damage as well, so kind of an exchange of damage there.
It's actually a very good, the razor wire is a very good synergy with the repulsion armor plate and plan yellow that we also picked up.
Yep.
Holy crit.
Is that a crit? No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
1% chance.
Nice. Nice.
GG's.
Stand off the phase. Nice.
Unfortunately couldn't set up for the phase 4 skip with Kiara's band, which is the main purpose of that, but it's fine. This phase should be pretty easy. If we die now, it's
Yep.
pretty rough.
So with the Jaro's band, if we had procced the fire tornado in the center of the arena and then ended the third phase, the fourth phase would have spawned inside the fire tornado and canceled the item steal animation. So we're able to use our items directly to phase 4 instead of having to earn them back. But it didn't line up totally fine.
Nice. Now we've just got a minute.
GG's.
Wait.
Cutscene.
Yeah. Cutscene where you do nothing.
You stand in the circle again. It's sick.
Yeah.
This one was very
But you
good.
have to avoid all the damage too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. With your
With my planular
huge
wrap.
healing build. Yeah.
Good run.
Very clean. So while we're ending here, just like to give a shout out to Risk of Resources. It's a Twitch channel that holds Risk of Rain Gauntlet events. Usually it's a 4-player race with 4 characters with random loadouts, random stages. And this category is actually based off of that. It's very fun. We usually do like an event weekly, either bingo or just a race. And if you enjoyed this, you'd love that.
Yep, step on by.
GG's. That's
GG's time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, GG's.
Yeah.
Clap.
Sorry.
Yeah, we forgot to call time because we were
My
so
bad.
engrossed in watching the cutscene.
Yeah. It's a beautiful cutscene.
But yeah,
Good
well
job,
done.
Snick.
That was awesome. I love this game
was
so
very
much. I'm
fast.
so glad we got to have it on the show.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for showing it off. Super fun run. We are going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to get prepped for our next run, which is Borderlands 2 with Unjust Action. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Crosshair here on the GDQ Hotfix. We just saw an awesome Risk of Rain 2 run with Snick. That was such a cool run and such a cool game. Play Risk of Rain. I'm telling you all, play Risk of Rain. But we are going to chug along into our second run of the day here on, I don't know, the Gearbox Special, we'll call it. Borderlands 2 is often considered the superior of the trilogy. And we have got Unjust Action here to show it off. So Unjust Action, take it away.
All right, thank you, Dan. Hi, everyone. My name's Unjust Action, and today we're doing some Borderlands 2, any percent with DLC. The with DLC part is just the character I'm playing, Gage. That's the only DLC you have to worry about. And I'm joined with my good friend ZZ for help me with some commentary.
Hello, I'm here.
Great.
What an intro.
So there's a cutscene that will play right when I load in. So we'll get that playing, and I'll give a countdown once I gain control of my character. A couple things to note here is we're playing on a very old patch of the game, namely patch 1.1.0, which came out about a month after release. It's the first patch that has the character I'm playing, Gage, and that just gives us access to a whole bunch of glitches, which we'll explain when they come up. At the start of the run, there's kind of a lot of babysitting Claptrap here. He's kind of going to take us through the tutorial area, Southern Shelf, and it's a little bit slow at the start. There's kind of a few save quits, but after that, it really picks up, and it doesn't slow down for a little bit. So timing will start just shortly once I get my character, and I'll do my best to give a countdown and time it.
Take this echo communicator that I totally didn't loot from one of these corpses. It comes with a Class 12 heads-up display, complete with a mini-map.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
See, that's probably the most
thank you.
important part, or most impressive part, was we'd be lazy and just start timing on entering the game. But you actually know the timing to start it.
Yeah, I kind of winged it
Gain
there. I'm
control.
surprised that went as good as it did.
Yeah, every run we've done of this, it seems like you time it perfectly.
Everything soon, but know this.
Pretty nice.
You're alive for a reason.
But to start here, I'm gonna have my FPS capped to 30. That kind of just makes Claptrap move slightly quicker. Between like every
Interesting.
move trigger he has, he pauses for a little bit, and if you have a low FPS, he pauses for a shorter amount of time. So throughout the early game here, while we're babysitting Claptrap, I'm gonna kind of just be fluctuating between 144 and then 30 FPS.
It seems to be a common trend of the games at the time of like all NPC movement is tied to frame rate, which is very frustrating. But
Yeah, a little bit. Most of the time, it's only for like a second or two. But at the start, here is the most prominent example. So coming up is our first cutscene here after a little bit of dialogue. I'm gonna take the time to loot up a little bit. And after the cutscene, I'm gonna be doing what's called a death fling. So basically there's a save on the other side of this wall, and generally you have to wait for Claptrap to open a door for you before you can get through it. But if we line ourselves up next to this barrel, we can use it to down ourselves, and then we will flip our hitbox inside of this ice block I'm standing on, which will fling us at the wall, hitting the save through the wall, and then I can save quit to skip all that dialogue and waiting around. Every non-DLC character actually spawns with like an echo you can use to skip some of this dialogue. The DLC characters don't, however, so that's the one downside of playing with this character.
And that's not even the funniest part. If we have to do all this asinine stuff just to hit that save point that you saw in the top right corner, all the other characters can just run at the wall and hit the save point. It's a fun part about playing Gage.
Yeah. She's a little bit slow at the start here, and there's a couple other things that she has to do that other characters don't. But there are a bunch of reasons that Gage is still the fastest character to play. And we'll get into all those as they come throughout the run.
He will help you get off this glacier and into
Yeah, a lot of this early game is just go to a place, do something, wait for Claptrap to progress, do the thing, wait for Claptrap, do the thing, wait for Claptrap. It's part of what makes the early game a little slow, but...
Resets must suck then.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. And one little thing I'll be doing throughout the early game is something called double shotting. So normally, especially with like bolt action snipers, it's kind of obvious how slow the fire rate can be. So one way to get around that is by double shotting. So if you shoot and then reload, you can actually interrupt the reload animation by shooting and meleeing at the same time. So when you string this all together, you can subvert the fire path, kind of like you see me doing now. It only really shows up in the early parts of the game just because we have this bolt action sniper. But we won't be seeing that too much.
Yeah, and like 20 minutes in, we get a different weapon anyway. But it subverts the fire rate cap, but also just helps with a lot of burst damage. So at some point, we'll get into bosses that will kill really quickly just by doing this and getting 2 critical hits at the same time, basically.
Jack here, president of
And then coming up here, I'll also be doing another little damage glitch called merging. Merging is something we'll be doing throughout the whole game, where basically it's taking the implicit weapon properties of one gun and transferring it onto your character. So this Jacob sniper I'm holding right now has 160% bonus crit damage given to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap away from it. And then during the swap animation, I'm going to move its position in my backpack, like you just saw me do there. And now I'm holding this SMG, and the SMG was basically given the crit damage from my sniper. Which is going to be helpful for this boss here.
Basically, we trick the game into thinking that we're holding both weapons at the same time. That's about all it is.
Pretty much, yeah. Not every stat transfers over, but things like weapon sway and crit damage and stuff like that transfer over.
My goodness.
Yep, so that was a boss.
Yeah, that was a boss. And here, I'm actually going to pick up the Claptrap's eye, and then I'm going to save quit, load back in, and save quit again. And this just pushes Claptrap up the hill at the end of the map. Normally, you have to wait around and escort him up the hill and listen to a bunch of dialogue. This progresses that a little bit, and basically just turns a minute of waiting around into around 45 seconds of just running back through the map.
So a lot of the save quit just kind of saves time in game. It's technically slower real time because we run based on in-game time, but it's one that's faster RTA too.
Yeah, most of them early game are actually faster RTA too because there is just so much dialogue. I think there's only like a couple strats that are technically slower RTA that save time in GT.
Please take whatever you need for the journey ahead.
There's going to be just a few more of those save quits in the next map too.
Let's go this way!
Right here is a fun part too. He has a line of dialogue Claptrap can say there, and it's RNG whether or not you get a line or which line it is. And if you run forward there while he's talking, you lose like 6 seconds or something.
It's not just there, dude.
Weird.
Throughout the entire early game, all of Claptrap's dialogue lines are random.
Jeez.
And some of them just lose you 5 seconds just because you got the wrong line. I love Claptrap
Jack
casually
Black,
as a
why do you
Borderlands
do
fan.
this to us?
I love Claptrap as a Borderlands fan. I hate him as a speedrunner.
He also can soft lock on basically every move trigger he has too. So yeah, there's plenty of reasons not to like the robot.
How I do?
So this is Liarsburg. It's kind of just a lot of, a lot of the same as the previous map, where it's kill a few enemies, wait for dialogue, kill a few enemies, wait for dialogue. So I'm going to be save quitting after essentially every objective here now, and then load back in, and it just skips a whole bunch of dialogue, like we said before.
That fight he just did, by the way, is very difficult to do very quickly, and Andras just kind of killed it there with getting the double shots to actually work and getting them timed properly.
Yeah, that fight is the only fight where spawns are pretty much perfectly consistent. There's one slight bit of variation there on one spawn, but otherwise all the spawns are exactly the same, which is the only fight that's like that in the game. Well, only one that we see, at least in the run, I think. There might be an odd case here.
Yeah, so we haven't been mentioning it too much, but a handful of the fights that he's been doing, he's been killing the waves twice, basically. Once before the objective happens, and then once for the actual objective. That's for a very specific purpose. The XP route is really tight, that we need to hit certain level benchmarks at certain points. So that's why he's been killing the rack in the sky. That's why he's been doing the handful of the extra kills, because we want to hit very specific level ups at very specific points.
Yeah, so you can see I'm basically like 10 XP or whatever away from level 3 right now. That's just because I want to have a level up right here, because whenever you level up, you gain 100% damage for 30 seconds. And that's just going to make getting XP a little bit easier in this section here. And then, again, at level 4, I'll be trying to time a level up bonus for a specific point.
Dude, your aim is so cracked. Like, I can't believe some of these shots you're landing.
So some of that's the built-in aim assist. It's just faster to have aim assist, but even still, you have to aim well to have the aim assist do exactly what you want it to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
it's impressive.
Okay, he dodged that. I'm sad.
Flash Ripper. I don't have to tell you why they're called.
So a little bit more babysitting Cloudtrap. Up here, we're actually going to get a little bit of, a little bit of respite from Cloudtrap, because we're going to launch him really far into the map. So we can kind of just progress at our own pace. Then we'll catch back up with him, and we'll, get back to escorting him.
Yeah, because I'm rich. So, that's cool. Goodbye.
Protect me, Squire!
Is like, yeah!
Like that last shot right there, that's not aim assist. That's just Andras being cracked.
I'm like, what? Like, I do not want to take this guy on in an arena shooter. You will absolutely decimate me.
It's just weird, because I'm really bad at any other shooter, but this one specifically is the only one I can aim in.
Okay, well then I'll mess you up in an arena shooter.
So right here, I kind of position myself in an awkward spot, as you can see. That's because, okay, these guys are being difficult. I'm going to do a jump into the boss's arena right after this fight here. Okay, just as you guys start complimenting me, I miss my shots.
I mean, missing 1 or 2 shots is like fine. It's just some of the other ones you've been landing are like shots I would not be able to land.
So yeah, right there you
Another
can
boss
see
coming up.
I did a grenade jump into the arena, and typically Cloudtrap has like an animation where he's like punching in numbers into a control panel to lower a drawbridge for you. But you can actually just jump across the gap and hit his trigger from the other side, and he just walks straight through the bridge.
It's actually really hilarious to watch from a third-person perspective. But yeah, that's another boss. That's the level up bonus there. The double damage for 30 seconds. We time it perfectly for that fight. So they die really quickly. And then our favorite part of the run is getting the launch claptrap here.
Yeah, get in the cannon, and we just shoot claptrap, and he goes flying. Very satisfying. And so right here, I'm gonna actually kind of go a little slow through this area because it's one of like the major sources of XP. So you just want to make sure you're getting as many enemies here as you can.
Yeah, you get like 2 guaranteed badass spawns, which have much higher health and do a lot more damage, but they give you a lot more XP. And with the leftover level up boost, you can take them out really quickly and get a lot of XP in a really short time.
So, Claptrap's got a new friend, huh?
There's a gate here, but we can just grenade jump over it, which I guess is a good opportunity to explain grenade jumps. Kind of just your normal damage boost. You throw a grenade at your feet, and then you jump, and it boosts you. Nothing crazy there, but it's very potent, as you'll see.
And it only works with unmodded grenades, so the whole point of that boss we just killed was, here's all the grenade mods that you can do, and here's the special things you can do with those mods. We won't be using any of them, because if we have one equipped, we can't grenade jump, so.
Yeah, so right there
So we finally got back up to claptrap. Just about.
Just about. Yeah, he's right up here. And I just did another grenade jump you saw there off that building to avoid going all the way back around this map.
Second split, my new minion's a bona fide badass.
Now we can wait for claptrap more.
Yeah, I know y'all were all missing that, huh?
Protect me, squire!
Spawns. This is the last mandatory wave fight of this area. Well, technically. Depending on RNG coming up.
Did you get that one enemy mid-roll with a headshot?
I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. And now, going back to what you were saying before about the XP routing, I need to hit level 8 at a certain point in a couple maps, so I'm just going to be spending a little bit of time here while we wait for claptrap, so we get some more XP.
Another way up. A crane. Find the controls.
I'll wait here!
And coming up's the next boss. A lot of boss fights in a very short time, sort of to teach you the ropes. This one we don't want to kill as fast as we can, because there's a specific trigger manipulation we can do based on enemies walking into claptraps move triggers and triggering them. But it's very specific in particular, and sometimes you can do everything right and it still doesn't work. So
Yeah, if everything
he's gonna
goes,
go for it here, but we'll see.
if everything goes perfectly, you have a 2/3 chance to get it, basically.
It's a new torture dolls, boys!
So here's Captain Flint showing you about elements and fire and resistances and whatever. We're just gonna shoot him in the face.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get real close. You can just put him through his mask with the sniper. And we're gonna wait for this door to open. That's when we'll kill him. Okay, nice.
There we are. Yeah, so the psychos, he turned away before you could see them, but fire psychos that spawned out of the building back there, and they walked through Claptrap's move trigger, so it caused Claptrap to move. Why it works, I have no idea, but it saves like 45 seconds between having to clear that. You don't have to complete this fight afterwards if you hit that manipulation.
Yeah, typically you have to clear all these enemies up here by Flint. But we can avoid that. Which saves like 20 seconds or something.
Over here!
Okay, normally when he says
here.
over here and stuff, I'm like, that's when he soft locks, so I'm like kind of sketched out right now, but it works, so we're fine. I don't know why he's talking. Normally he doesn't talk there. Yeah, that went pretty smooth, actually.
Would you say that's never... Never mind.
No, that happens sometimes. That's
That happens
that's
also.
Dang it. We almost had the moment.
So, like I was alluding to before, we need to hit level 8 at a certain point. So, right here, I'm going to travel back into Southern Shell and get a couple more kills on Boom Boom.
Yeah, so this is without the level up bonus. So it's a little bit slower to kill, but just if you hit your shots,
You know my
and don't
best
get
here, man.
punched by psychos. It's okay, Death Trap gotcha.
Okay,
Death Trap gotcha.
Yeah. That's the worst I've ever done that fight, so that's good. And then we'll do one more, because that'll get us to just over level 7.
Actually, ideally, you get the level up bonus here from the first kill, which makes the second one easier. Or the first boom kill makes the second boom kill faster. There it is.
Alright, and then we'll save quick, go back to travel quicker. And right here, I'm going to rebind my interact key to be on the mouse wheel down. A bit later on, we'll do something called scroll skipping, which is basically where you talk to an NPC twice on the same game tick, and it just kind of skips their line of dialogue. It only works in like very specific instances where a character has multiple lines of dialogue in a row, so it's not the most useful thing, but it's still pretty good for the areas where we have it.
I'll save it saves like 2 minutes almost with dialogue, or a minute and a half or something.
This machine will
It saves an insane amount. A lot of the time save that's happened in the past, 8 years or so of running this game is just how can we skip dialogue? Because a lot of what makes the game really slow is just listening to dialogue.
just attach the adapter onto the catch a ride, and I'll get you a free car.
It's like what I just did there with talking to the vendors and the car station was another way of skipping dialogue that's only going to come up there, so we're not going to go into intricacies about that, but just
Yeah, I don't even know how it works, to be honest. But...
Yeah, a common trend of this is just how can we skip the dialogue and stop the characters from talking?
Wait a moment while I hack the catch.
And then here I'm also going to interact on the vendor. Please skip along the dialogue too. Now.
Cool. Try requesting and we'll...
Again, why it works, couldn't tell you.
And now I'm going to go for what's called dignity skip, which is, I'm of the opinion that it's the hardest 10 seconds to save in the game. Like, the hardest single trick at least. You need essentially perfect driving, and I'm really bad at the driving in this game.
You need perfect driving in a game that has very bad driving.
Yeah.
I mean, ZZ, you run Rage 2. You know bad driving just as much as I do.
I thought Borderlands had... just casually gets it. I thought I knew bad driving between Borderlands, and then, yeah, I tried Rage 2, and I was like...
Yeah.
Okay. This is rough.
Because I am a former Rage 2 runner, and I sympathize.
Yeah, I was reluctant to admit it, but I think Borderlands is better has better driving than Rage, which is crazy.
Roland's contacted me.
Find him, soldier.
Right, so coming up here is the section I was talking about, where we do the scroll skip. There's going to be 3 bandits attacking Corporal Reese coming up here. And after that, he has multiple lines of dialogue, but we can skip them if we just scroll interact on them. So right there, you can see how he kind of interrupted himself, and now Roland's talking. Normally, you'd have to wait for like 2 other lines of dialogue to play.
Get that power cord back, and while you're at it, kill some bandits for Reese.
Casually just snipes something no scope.
You've got an aerial waypoint. Sometimes your echo device can't find the precise location of what you're looking for. Search the area marked by the big ass screen.
And then here, we don't miss our shots.
We need to stop complimenting, because it seems like every time we do, he starts just...
True. Yeah. I will say nothing more about your cracked aim from now on.
Yeah, just start flaming me instead. That might help.
Roland, is that you?
Alright, yeah, so we jump off the cliff, and that puts us back at the save, right next to Sanctuary, and we can go into the next map.
Citadel, huh? Well done. It'll be you're the one Commander Roland.
And this is actually the part where we sort of figured out that 30 FPS makes NPCs move faster, because this is one that's very slow on high FPS.
Yeah, that's weird. Like usually higher FPS they move faster.
Some intel on how to stop Jack. With him
Yeah, so this
missing, we
guy,
really need
Jessup
help.
right here,
Talk to Private Jessup at the stand up straight.
he,
We got a vault
like, whether or not he
under
moves or
Major
not is completely random. We got a pretty decent Jessup here, and he has to open the gate for us.
Blitz. Look alive.
So I've had runs where I've literally stood here for 10 seconds, and he's just staring at me, and all of that is just time loss.
Roland needs your help. Without you,
And going to 30, like
Roland
Zizi said,
doesn't
helps
stand a
out.
chance against Jack. Please find out where Roland's gone.
Like that's a part where I'll I don't have the hotkeys, so I just manually go into my settings and change it to 30 because it's still faster.
You wired death machines become for me once Roland went missing. Now if you're here to kill
One other thing you might have noticed me doing in the last map is whenever I'm in a car, I'm going to lower my FPS when I'm accelerating. You get more traction at lower FPS in cars, so you can accelerate quicker. That's just another small thing.
Now you gonna help us out with this Roland situation?
And then also,
Another scroll rack there that skips all of Scooter's dialogue, so we can pick up the stuff immediately.
I forgot that was a thing. Yeah, we've been doing that for so long, it's just normal to me at this point. I forget that there's dialogue there. I don't pay attention to dialogue anyway. I'm a speedrunner.
Bandits of Sanctuary. I hear a new Vault Hunter has arrived in your city, so just turn him into me and you'll be rewarded.
And again, in this
Yeah,
map, there's a
there-
lot of save quitting to skip
Turn you in.
dialogue and stuff.
Hope of stopping Jack.
Yeah, it's your hub world, so they're showing you everything that's around here while progressing the story at the same time. So here's your ammo upgrades to increase your capacity. We do grenades so that we can grenade jump more. We're gonna go into the headquarters where all the characters are based. It's a big tutorial.
And another thing we have to cap our FPS for is this step. If you're at high FPS, you just can't walk over that step. There's a lot of little things with FPS in this game that you just kind of get used to.
Right now, you're the only thing standing between
Or you can just
hell, the whole this is the ball.
be a boomer and just ignore it all and run anyway. Couldn't be me.
And one thing I guess we should mention is that every time I save quit, I lose all my merges and all my glitches and everything. So if you ever see me just, swapping my weapons and opening my backpack throughout the run, I'm just re-merging.
Yeah, so for pretty much every relevant, speedrun glitch, but for most glitches just in Borderlands in general, save quitting usually clears them out. So coming up, we need to hit level 8 in this next.
I was not expecting to get set on fire.
Everything's fine.
I don't think I've ever died here before.
Oh.
There you are, Dane.
Oh. Wait, has that never happened before?
That has never happened before, yeah.
Yay! I mean, boo! That it was a death, but he said the thing.
That's not that big a deal. We spawn right here.
It's crazy. You almost made it to the travel where you could have just save quit and gotten all your health back. That surely isn't going to happen again.
No,
of course not. Don't commentators curse it.
That's weird. The bloodshot bandit
So I am being told that I need to ask about Japanese gauge.
reinforcements. Those should lead you to the
What about this is not something I'm familiar with.
Follow the screaming.
So
If she gets set on fire, she has like a very high pitched scream.
oh, is that the joke?
Or something. It's very Japanese.
This is unusual. Well, that was.
It's I want to say there was a marathon where game dialogue was a donation incentive, and I think people wanted Japanese to make it, but I think French ended up winning. We don't. We haven't really.
Out of the way, buddy.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, it's really loud. Got it. Yeah, so this is why we need to level 8. So the Let's Go is an SMG that sort of just sits in a puddle every single time you load into this map, and it's probably one of the best SMGs in the game. So that's why we need to hit level 8, because this is our damage until we get to the big damage clips later on.
And I will absolutely not comment on Unjust's actually cracked aim right now. Not going to comment on it.
Well, actually, the funny part about this is half of my bullets I'm just shooting the floor.
And that's intentional.
Yeah. So one of the main draws of playing Gage is she has a skill called Close Enough. And when you expect 5 skill points out of 5 in it, and you have your bullets have a 50% chance to ricochet towards an enemy if they hit a surface instead of an enemy. So essentially, I can shoot the floor and my bullets can ricochet at enemies. So then we have an aim.
It's sort of the reason why this, I guess, spiritual predecessor to this show was named Aimbot, was because of Gage's aimbot skill. So this is just an area, it's a big area that we have to run through, but we have to like make sure we're keeping up our XP, because the next big level breakpoint that we have to hit is level 10 at a very specific point. So we have to run through the area. We're killing all the guaranteed badass spawns as well, because they give a big chunk of XP and we can kill them relatively quickly with all the glitches that we have.
Don't let that happen to you.
Yeah, and then the other skill I'm spec'ing to currently is called Anarchy. If you look just above my XP bar, there's a counter with times 31. That means I have 31 stacks of Anarchy. Basically, every time I get a kill, I get a stack. It gives me 1.75% damage at the cost of 1.75% accuracy. So that aimbot skill we were talking about comes in very useful once you get to max stacks.
Funky.
Yeah, I was looking for a new shield there, and I got one. It's just a little bit more expensive than I'd like it to be, so we'll wait for a new one.
Tim, I never buy one there because I'm always hopeful that I'll get one dropped from this upcoming wave fight, and I just never do.
Yeah, I only do when I buy one. So I'll probably get one here. Or I probably won't, I'm sorry.
What are you doing? Bandits call me the Firehawk, but the name's Lilith.
Oh, the one weird quirk about the Anarchy skill, if you're not familiar with Borderlands 2 or with Gage specifically, is you lose those stacks if you manually initiate a reload early.
Help me up.
So I know a lot of older runners would just unbind their reload key so they don't accidentally reload.
I would have to do that, yeah.
I should have some in one of my strong boxes.
Knowing me and my propensity to reload.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
This is another scroll interact where we skip a whole bunch of dialogue and just start the wave fight immediately instead of having to wait for like 30 seconds of dialogue.
Yeah, now the rest of this map is just wave fight.
Sweet. Mind if I jump in with an announcement then?
I was about to just hand it off to you. Go for it.
That's perfect. Yeah, folks, thank you for everyone that's supporting Hotfix. I saw a couple of resubs earlier. Thank you for your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared here on the GDQ Twitch channel. Your contributions help keep our shows running. If you're enjoying the stream, consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and access to chat during replays. And you can always you can always support GDQ for free by sharing the stream with your friends and loved ones. And additionally, if you have missed out on any of the Hotfix programming or any of our runs from like the mainline events, from Black in a Flash, Frame Fatales, or any of those, we archive everything over on our YouTube channel. Over at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello from the past. You should come follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. But also don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and click that bell for notifications so you can get up to date with any new uploads that we send in to the YouTube channel.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Perfect timing, because that's the wave fight.
I totally planned it that way, for sure.
And then another scroll interact to skip her animation of doing whatever with the iridium and just turn it in immediately and move on. But all this time? Yeah.
Yeah, one thing you might have saw me doing there is open my inventory kind of randomly throughout the fight. Like ZZ said, I can't prematurely reload. And so one way to avoid that is to put the gun back into your backpack and then re-equip it, and that fully reloads it. Another thing is it kind of just skips the reload animation, and that's also pretty helpful.
It's something he's been doing the entire run that we just haven't pointed out. Every weapon in the world on the ground has a full clip just on its own. So if you run out of your mag, you can just throw it on the ground and pick it up, and now it's reloaded already. So that, and then throw it in your inventory, and then it's just a way to save time on having to wait for the reloads. Right, so for anyone, because we haven't really been following the story much, Roland's one of the Vault Hunters from Borderlands 1 that made a return. We just met Lilith, who made a return from Borderlands 1. The Bloodshots captured Roland, so we need to save him, so we're going to sort of Trojan horse it and sort of build one of their cars to get into their compound so that we can rescue Roland. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to destroy a whole bunch of cars driving around in this area, and Ellie here is going to help us build one of their cars so that we can get in. So the save quits that he was doing earlier kind of served two different purposes. One, skipped a whole bunch of dialogue and there we are. Skipped a whole bunch of dialogue and cutscenes and whatnot, but also it reset these car spawns that if you don't save quit, they're going to be all over the place. So save quitting means that they're still driving around randomly, but at the very least you know where they're going to be spawning.
Yeah, and you can kind of manipulate the pathing. Like, they tend to drive away from you, but they also have like a certain radius from their spawn that they have to stay within. So sometimes you have to like not drive towards them if you want to lead them in a certain direction and stuff. It's really awkward. And sometimes they just do whatever they feel like. You can kind of make it better. And then after I grab the last part, I'll save quit to get back to Ellie's garage here a little bit quicker.
I know it's been a lot of save quits, but we promise they'll stop. It's just a lot of the early game is just skip as much dialogue as you can. But what happened there?
I messed up my menu.
It's a lot of trying to skip dialogue in the early game. We don't really have ways of skipping dialogue that we'll get later on in the game.
We've run out of our save and quit budget. There's no more in the budget for it.
Well, we got a couple more coming up, so I have to budget a little bit.
We're gonna overdraft the budget, man.
Dang it.
So this gate is a gate. You just run through it once it lowers like 2 feet. I don't know why.
Is it a gate?
Not a very good one.
It's like half a gate.
And one thing I'm going to do here is quickly rebind back to scroll interact for kind of a funny visual glitch coming up. At first when we found scroll skipping, we only thought it worked in dialogue because you're kind of just overlapping lines of dialogue. But you can actually use it here if you want to explain it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, once we finish killing Badmaw, we have to lower this drawbridge, and you can interact on the drawbridge, so you just press it and it spins slowly. But we never considered that if you just keep pressing it, it'll go instantly. So you just keep spinning it, and it spins faster.
Yeah, you spin the wheel faster, and it lowers quicker. Who would have thought?
Yeah, we never considered it. That's also frame rate dependent. It spins faster and lower frame rates, which is another fun thing.
That is so bizarre to me.
So here we have to get level 10 before we can progress. We cannot finish the run if we don't get level 10 at this point. So we're gonna, same thing we did earlier with killing Boom Boom a whole bunch, we're gonna kill Badmaw a bunch. But it's slow to kill him with bullets. Sorry for the namesake of the show, but instead we're just gonna grenade boost him off the cliff And as long as we shoot him, and even just the damage from the grenade boost, we get credit for all the XP for the kill. So we're going to do that twice. We have very specific lineups so that he runs in the path that we need, that the grenade explodes at the right time, so he gets pushed off the cliff.
I have had it where I push him off the cliff and I'm dealing damage to him the whole time, and it still just doesn't give me the XP. I have no idea why that happens, but when it does, it's very frustrating.
So this is the infamous part of any Borderlands 2 speedrun. This is the RNG section. It wasn't the RNG show last night. Surprise, it's coming back today because we cannot progress until we get two very specific guns. One being a Vladoff rocket launcher and the other being a Jacobs 2-barrel or more shotgun. So I don't know if you want me to set a timer or something on just for how long you want to go through this.
I'll do like 3 attempts or 4, I guess, and then I'll grab my backup gear, because this can literally take forever, so we do have a backup for it.
Yeah, if you saw earlier on in the quest progression, there were some items in the bank that are for this exact purpose, because I've had splits where this takes 15 minutes and you just don't get the weapons that you need. It's going to be the part where the run just takes off significantly compared to what we've had before. But in short, I'll just explain it now while we're still trying to get it. The Vladoff rocket launcher has a unique property where it consumes reduced ammo, in quotes. All right.
I'm just going to grab my backup real quick.
Yeah, that's fair. Consumes reduced ammo per shot. And the way they coded it is that it's just a -1 ammo consumption. Well, we can take that -1 ammo consumption and stack it once we get to that -1. So if you just swap back and forth, you have -1 consumption, you have -2 consumption, you have -3 consumption, and once you have that stacked, you just don't consume ammo. So there's the infinite ammo glitch here, and then the Jacobs shotgun is because that unique property is that it fires as fast as you can pull the trigger. So whenever you can just bind shoot to scroll wheel and scroll a lot in a very short amount of time, you just get a shotgun that acts as a machine gun instead.
Best part of the game. This is here.
Quintessential Borderlands speedrunning. There's a version of it in both this iteration and in the pre-sequel, the sequel, prequel to this. It's quintessential Borderlands speedrunning. So all of that's happening. And then we also have one of the biggest skips in the run, which is Bloodshot Stronghold. There's I don't know if you need me to be quiet so that you can hear your metronome.
No, you can go ahead. It's fine.
No? All right. There's a trigger at the start of the map and a trigger at the end of the map, and it's a big circle. So all we have to do is just hit both sides. And by doing that, we can just do a double grenade jump
Holy
to get on top of the map.
Awesome.
And now we're at the end of the map. So we're rescuing Roland. We get to his cell and we just rescue him from inside the cell. You know.
Yeah, this is a cell.
That's how you do a jailbreak, right?
I don't know how he's trapped if the wall is just,
you in person.
you know.
Hell of a job fighting.
Right. The wall's not real. You can just rescue
Roland's
him
not
from
very
inside.
smart.
This will just take a second.
But yeah, that's
they just-
that's called super skip. A big jump there.
Yep. They since the floaters break the wall, they just didn't code a wall there, so we can just walk through and hit it from the outside. It's a very difficult skip.
Yeah, and one thing you might have heard TZ mention is that to time it, like we have to throw 1 8 vertically and then 1 8 at your feet to get the boost from both. So we use a metronome to time it, which is a relatively recent addition to the route. We used to do this thing where we'd melee 3 times, and that was kind of close enough, but your melee times can sort of fluctuate a little bit. So the metronome makes it very, very consistent.
I want to know who found that skip and like how much labbing they had to do to actually figure that out, because I imagine there was probably a big pop off the first time they did it.
I think it was
don't
actually
know the history of it.
I think it was known about, like, that you could theoretically do it, but there wasn't like a consistent way to for a long time.
And I don't think many people were crazy enough to even attempt it in runs, because especially at the point where it happens in the run, it's right after the RNG that you can go from experience, you can go like a week's worth of attempts and not get past that point that you finally get past it and then attempt it and miss it and like, well, all right, run's dead now. So yeah, now we're just finally saving roll and we just have to run through this area. It's another one where we have to like try and run through as quickly as we can while also killing enemies and getting XP along the way. So it's a part where we're not really in danger of dying because we're relatively on level with the enemies, or if anything, just on level with enemies. And then we just have a ridiculous amount of damage from the infinite aim on the shotgun. So like, we're not really in any danger of like not being able to kill an enemy. I mean, even coming up here, the warden's technically a boss. And it's dead. So like the difficulty doesn't come from the game being difficult. It comes from trying to be fast, but also still keeping up with your XP so that the end game isn't difficult. It's very, very difficult. Precise.
With all the glitches and everything that we have, like the infinite kind of shotgun, the close enough aimbot stuff, and then there's another glitch we have coming up later for a bit of survivability. You might think that like, oh, you have all the stuff, speedrun is easy, but it's really the fact that like all these glitches really enable us to do the speedrun at such a low level. We end the run at level 19 or 20 depending on how XP works out, and you're supposed to be level 30.
Yeah, and then as you're more under level, you have damage reduction imposed on you, so the game really doesn't want you to be under... Helped a little earlier. The game doesn't want you to be under leveled, so you just have weaker weapons, but then also impose damage reduction on top of that. So they're like, stay on level, and we just say no. We'll just glitch instead.
You'll have to signal our man. I bet anything he's
and
sleeping off a
at the start of this map, we meet another returning character from Borderlands 1, Mordecai. He has a cutscene that's pretty long that introduces him. So right here, we're gonna finish the objective that starts the cutscene and then save quit to skip it. So we set the enemies on fire to start the cutscene. We can skip or save quit to skip it.
Actually, for the all quest route, we like really want to skip it because he can mess with one of the side quests. We just kind of have to wait for enemies to pop up, and he's a sniper, so he'll snipe for us and just kill our enemies that we're waiting to. It's very annoying, but we just save quit and never run instead.
I'm going to change the pitch of the show to Crosshair, the show that features runs with save quits.
They'll stop eventually, I promise.
Because of you two.
I promise. They will stop eventually.
And it's much better than listening to all the dialogue, I can assure you of that.
Tina's a bomb maker and a friend of mine. I've saved her life a few times.
A little later on in the run, eventually we're going to start building up glitches that we don't want to go away, and that's kind of how our damage builds up and how we can actually survive being so underleveled. So once we reach like an hour into the run, we won't save quit at all, because if we do, then we lose our survivability and our damage. So they'll stop soon, I promise.
The stalker chased the bandit. The stalker thought 'twas all in fun.
You have the line up?
Well, I think so.
Goes the bandit.
Yeah, okay.
Nice. So Tina exists for like a split second. She moves from where she starts her cutscene to where she is whenever it ends. That she exists for like a split second that you can talk to her before she teleports, and that skips a lot of her dialogue. Like I said, a lot of just trying to figure out how we can make this faster by not listening to dialogue.
And again, I'm gonna just be trying to get as many kills as we go through these maps, because XP is, especially recently, just become such a big issue with all the new skips and everything, where we're skipping past most enemies. So just trying to get as much as we can without slowing down too much.
Just do what she asks, and I guarantee she'll help you hijack the train and get the vault key.
That's a new way through that area.
Yeah, I saw Dark Smoke's doing that recently, so I'm like, oh, that's nifty. I'll do that.
Okay, cool. Another thing for me to learn.
And then here, I'm gonna try and take some damage. Thank you. And I'm gonna do a death warp just to avoid a little bit of the running back. And also, coming up here is going to be the first instance of what are called quest swaps. So you might have seen me briefly in Sanctuary grab a couple side missions from Lilith. The reason for that is because we can use them for dialogue skips. So like every quest has a little intro line of dialogue that plays when you first pick it up. And it just kind of gives you, the explanation of what the quest is and what you're supposed to do. And if you pick it up underneath another line of dialogue, while another line of dialogue is playing, it will actually store it in your backpack. So when you swap to that quest for the first time, it will activate its line of dialogue. And then you can use this at opportune points to skip so much dialogue throughout the game. It's our main method of dialogue skipping, you'll see for the rest of the run.
Yeah, the intro dialogue is stupidly high priority because they really want you to know what the quest is about. That it'll skip other story dialogue as long as we play it at the right time. So I don't think we do any side quests in the run, but we're going to pick up a whole bunch of side quests.
Let's get to work.
So right here, I'm going to swap to this mission, Cult Following. And then I'm also going to pick up Tina's side quest, which will give me another dialogue skip coming up. And so yeah, if you see me just randomly swapping quests, it's for dialogue skips.
I'm kind of worried they'd freak out if they saw their god in person. Go talk to the cult's leader, Incinerator Clayton.
Did you see that, CC?
Is that a launcher that you got? Or?
It was a scattergun.
I didn't see it. Oh, okay.
If only. That could have been a new shotgun for me, just out of a pile on the ground, but it's close.
So yeah, another quest swap. Tina has dialogue once you activate everything, and instead we just play Lilith, and Tina just doesn't talk. So it saves, I want to say, 5 to 10 minutes of dialogue over the course of the run.
I say around 5.
I gave a wide range to make sure that I hit it. There's a lot of dialogue in Borderlands games, which is fun whenever you're playing casually, but trying to get to that point where you can skip it for the speedrun sake has been challenging for pretty much all of the games in the series. So here's another Death Warp area, but weird in a spot where we don't hit the save station initially. Whenever you load in, there is no save station active, so the game just default puts us at the fast travel in the area. Very interesting. And then he save quits because technically whenever you die, you lose a whole bunch of money. So 1, you skip the animation, and 2, you save your money because money's still pretty important. And then here's Wilhelm. He's a boss. We still have a whole bunch of damage for the point that we're at in the run.
So yeah, that was end of the line. Very quick map, because like ZZ said, we can just death warp to the fast travel, which happens to be at the end of the map. Very convenient for us.
Haven't found anything good.
Another shotgun. Whatever one you wanted, though. It's fine. I keep checking the
teasing
vendor.
you for the fact that we couldn't get it.
Yeah, I know. The game's sentient, I'm telling you. It knows exactly what you need, and it knows not to give it to you. Yeah, I keep checking the vendor just to get some more snipers to merge for a bit of crit damage. Every sniper in the game has 100% crit damage given to it, and then Jacob snipers have an additional 60% given to them. So ideally you find Jacob's ones, but you take whatever you get, really.
Which is really funny about the starting sniper that we use, that this level 1 gun takes us to the entire game, through the entire game.
And here I'm gonna save quit to get back to the fast travel in the middle of town. It has like a super wide range, so I could activate it just from the entrance to Sanctuary there, and then use it just to warp back here quicker.
We also use Claptrap's tutorial dialogue to skip some more story dialogue because the game really wants you to listen to Claptrap. So any Claptrap tutorial dialogue is just higher priority than literally everything else in the game.
Don't worry about me.
Actually, Marshall Friedman is higher priority than Claptrap.
Okay, fair.
Like, it's actually, Marshall Freeman's another NPC. We'll get a mission from later in the game. And I was doing some testing recently, and it is crazy. Like, tutorial dialogue will actually wait for Marshall Freeman to stop before it plays, which is just baffling. Because he's just a random NPC that isn't really important, and Claptrap is like, you know, the tutorial character. He's explaining everything. So I don't know what Gearbox was thinking when they gave Marshall Freeman that much priority.
I think Shock Amy and TFC, I think they had a dev on, they were in communication with devs at one point for one of their runs in the past, and I think one of the devs mentioned that it was just like an oversight, and they were just like, whatever, we'll keep it. Like, I think they were testing something to make sure that all the lines were working and just forgot to put it back or something along those lines.
That makes sense, yeah.
But hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, it's very useful. So
it helps.
So story-wise, this is an interesting part of the run, or just of the game in general. We've had Sanctuary as our hub world, and Gearbox decided to just lock us out of the hub world entirely, which is really interesting from like a story building and world building and storytelling perspective. It doesn't affect us as much for the run. We just have to make sure we follow what we need to do. But at least from just love of the game perspective, it's really interesting design choice. So this is where we're going to get a whole bunch of survivability. Part of what made Scage very broken. Disep is just standing in fire. That's to make sure that Deathtrap's new skill that he's spec'd into called Buck Up activates. Buck Up, Deathtrap will shoot a beam at you whenever your shields are below full health. And whenever you have that beam on you and you travel to a different area, the game will kill Deathtrap's entity, but won't kill the beam entity. So you just have that beam on you perpetually, and that beam gives you 0 shield delay. So all the shields have stats for how fast it recharges, how long it takes to recharge, how much it recharges whenever it does recharge. Your recharge rate is 0. So you'll see every time he takes damage, just the shield just is constantly going up. And it stacks over and over and over for the rest of the run. So the more beams he has, the faster it's going to refresh his shields. It's going to make it so that we can actually take a lot of hits. The thing that's going to kill us the most towards the end of the run is just big burst damage. Smaller SMGs aren't going to be a problem for us, but the big burst damage is where we have to worry. So it does a lot to make Gage way faster and way more consistent than any of the other characters. The other characters are fun, but Gage is just so consistent that it's not even a contest.
Yeah, Buck Up is the main reason to use Gage. Even considering Close Enough and Anarchy and everything else, Buck Up is the big thing.
So we found Sanctuary, a little teleported Sanctuary away from Jack's attack, but we need to fast travel back, and because she teleported it away, that's not part of the fast travel network. So this whole section is just trying to get us back to Sanctuary, and it's going to be one of the weirdest gas skips in those discovered for this game. We'll get to it in a little bit after this area, but definitely interesting what we're gonna have to do coming up. At this point, it's just getting back to the next area. There's a big waterway that we have to cross. They're gonna destroy a bridge. We have to get across some way. I'm pretty sure you just run across the water now.
Yeah, we used to do a weird thing where we like jump on top of that rail there and gotta round it that way, but it's a much more direct path. So it's kind of
You can just jump into the water. That bridge that's to his left is supposed to be destroyed, but we just don't hit the triggers, and we just run across anyway. Boom, we're there.
And then we just do one more grenade jump to get over this wall.
Yeah, it's at this point where the game turns a little bit less into a first-person shooter and a bit more into a first-person platformer. With shooting involved as well.
I mean, a lot of first-person games turn into that when you speedrun them. So,
fair. Yeah, this Slusher is a big damage check whenever you're playing casually. Like, you can see the skull next to it. It's the part where, like, if you're just blitzing the story like we're doing, we're 5 levels under-leveled. That it's sort of, especially if you're doing, like, one life challenge runs, it's part of where you can get dicey if you don't have the right gear or the enough XP. But instead we just have a whole bunch of damage that we just obliterate it immediately.
You know the hero's gonna win, but you just don't die quickly. Man, example, this one guy in New Haven.
Yeah, so instead of driving straight to Overlook, I'm going to take a slight detour here. There's a fast travel station we have to activate for the next map coming up after Overlook. So a slight detour to hit that. And then one other small detour here is instead of going into Overlook, I'm going to drive into the Holy Spirits here, which is just this little pub next to Overlook. I can drive up the terrain. And this is because we're going to be doing something called Overlook Skip, where normally there's a huge wave fight here while Angel, your friend, enemy person, if you're paying attention to the plot, it's, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. She's trying to help you get back to Sanctuary. And normally there's Jack, who's sending an army after you to stop you from getting back. But instead of doing that, I'm going to get the check mark and save quit. That's going to damage the beacon. Now we're going to run all the way back there to repair the beacon. And then we're going to rinse and repeat this 7 times. What that's going to do is put the beacon into an invulnerable state. It's kind of like a failsafe where if you're really struggling with the fight, it makes it invulnerable, so you can't just get stuck here forever. Once you get it into the invulnerable state, if you save quit again, then the mission completes. And you just skip the whole fight.
And it's an annoying fight. It's inconsistent with the timings and the waves, and it's a good source of XP, but like it's an annoying fight to have to do. Even if anyone does one life challenges, it's again, it's another damage check of trying to survive and make sure you have the weapons to get through it. But it's an annoying and slow fight that just doing it this way skips the entire thing. It's a little boring. But like way more consistent. I want to say it saves like,
if it's faster, it's faster.
I would say it saves like 4 minutes on an optimal way, and maybe like
that's pretty good.
6 if it's a suboptimal fight. I think everyone in chat is like one of the few people that might at one point actually knew the timings for how the waves work.
Yeah, which is weird.
He was there when the ancient text was written, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of background timers running, and if you like go too fast, it'll like slow you down for like a minute where you're just waiting around and stuff like that. So it's much better, even if it is a little bit more boring.
And the other part that it lets us do is Unjust isn't doing it here because we have a backup anyway, but this is the part where we need to get an upgraded shotgun in most runs. So typically, while we're resetting and while we're repairing the beacon, we check the ammo vendor that's behind Unjust to try and get an upgraded shotgun for the end of the run. Another part where the run can just die because you don't get a shotgun that you need. But we have backups, so we're just going to use those.
Yeah, and you can also get these barrels here. Only certain barrels will actually boost you. So another bit of RNG in case we're lacking on that front.
It's Borderlands. There's no lack of RNG at any point.
So I think we got 2 more of these to do. Maybe 1 more. Forget. I wasn't counting.
No one ever counts. I count by looking at my timer and being like, oh, that's about where it's supposed to be, considering how many times I've checked the vendor.
And I think at the end of here is a good time to take our break.
The fast travel has landed.
Sure thing.
Give me a second while I calibrate it to Sanctuary's
And if you didn't like save quits, rejoice, because this is going to be the last save quit of the run.
There's 1 more save quit yet.
We're going to leave this run in half from 1/2 save quits, 1/2 not save quit. We're taking the break right in the middle.
Yeah, so I think right now is a good time to pause and take the break.
Sweet. So let's pause that timer. Folks, we are big fans of health and wellness here at GDQ, and we do like to take breaks on these longer runs. So we are going to give you all a chance to stretch, use the bathroom, grab some water, get a snack, do whatever you got to do. And we will be back with more Borderlands 2 in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Crosshair here on the GDQ Hotfix. We are about halfway through a run of Borderlands 2 80% solo with Unjust Action. So Unjust Action, whenever you are ready, count us in and let's get this going.
All right, we'll get back into it in 3, 2, 1, go. So we just finished up with Overlook, which is a pretty slow section, but now when it starts to pick up, that's the last save quit of the run. So anyone who was annoyed at all the menuing, you can rejoice. So back to going what you were saying before about quest swaps, where we're just picking up a whole bunch of side mission. This segment here is where we'll pick up the bulk of them.
Right.
So right now Roland is talking for the main story, and the main story is very high priority. So while all that's planned, I'm gonna run around, just grab a whole bunch of side missions while I set up my glitches again.
I can help you with that.
Oh, I need to. I can do it later.
Contact us again.
Will you please just
Forgot to grab my backup shotgun.
Let's listen to the crazy
Oh,
computer
yeah.
that just tried
Yeah, I can get that next
Was
split.
that was that 15 that you put it?
I think so.
time she told us the vault was full of loot.
Got it.
It's with me. I'm charging the
Yeah,
vault.
the vendors are locked to specific level ranges, so the shotgun we get at this point is anywhere from level 14 to level 16, with variants of gun parts that it can be like, what, 54 might be the lowest damage, and you can get anything up to like 80 depending on high rarity or whatever. Yeah, you just grabbed a whole bunch of side quests. We stopped save quitting, so now anytime we skip dialogue in the run, we have to figure out a way in-game to skip it without quitting back to the menu. So we're going to be loading up on a whole bunch of side quests that we're going to pick up so that we can use that intro dialogue to skip story dialogue as well. So we're going to use it a bunch here. And from this point on, we're going to route what quests are easy to grab and when can we use it to skip the most impactful dialogue. He's also stacking up on his buck up stacks, where his shields, I think he has 2 stacks right now. So his shield, it's as if he has 2 of Death Trap's buck up beams on him right now. That is going to increase his recharge delay rate amount. He's going to become, his survivability is about to skyrocket a whole bunch, which is very good because this is the point at the run where if you're just blitzing the story and not doing any side quests or any DLCs or anything, you are very underleveled, which is why this Claptrap tutorial dialogue is on right now, saying like, hey, you're really underleveled. Maybe don't continue, and we're gonna ignore Claptrap.
Yeah, I think this mission is 19 and we're level 12. So, and it's only going to get worse from here on. So,
Wildlife's, it's also it's a big difficulty spike just in the structure of the game itself, but it's also a big difficulty spike in this area is very difficult. Since we can't save quit anymore, we can't just warp easily to the start of areas to travel out to them. So we're going to finish this area in a boss arena that's not very easy to get out of normally. We have to wait for a long dialogue scene to open up a door and then run back through this area. So instead, I'm just going to take a really weird route throughout the area to skip every new U station. So none of them are going to be active, so that once we finish the map, he's going to death warp and get back to the very start. But it takes taking some really weird routes throughout the area. I don't think that one is one right there.
No, that's just faster
coming
going
up,
around.
Yeah,
but
coming up right here, like
in that building there's a save. So instead of running through that building, I'm gonna do a grenade jump here to get over this wall. Gonna
do a grenade jump here too. Oh.
There we go. I'm gonna do a grenade jump to get over this wall. I thought I had more than one nade. Typically you do, but I got unlucky, I guess. And then there are going to be a couple more weird grenade jumps that aren't actually faster by themselves, but when you consider that it skips a save, allowing me to death warp back to the start. will save time in the long run.
Yes, there's a door coming up here with the save station right on the other side of it. That instead of nice, put one into the nice. The XP's gotten much tighter and tighter as we've been skipping more and more of the combat. So these are random boss spawns that can show up that just give a whole bunch of XP to sort of keep us on the right route. So save station on the other side of this door. So instead we're gonna do I don't think you need a grenade jump, but some weird parkour to get around it. And a badass rack too. Oh.
So yeah, here I'm actually going to do a weird little grenade jump. Well, this will avoid spawn trigger. Normally there's a huge wave fight here that you have to go through to open this door. But if you grenade jump like I did there on top of that rock, you can avoid the spawn trigger, which will allow me to do this other skip, which was the most recent discovery in this category. We can...
Normally this is a massive wave fight with a massive invisible wall through this door. That it was just recently found that there's a tiny spot that you can squeeze right through that you can only get through if you crouch. So if you're crouching while the grenade jump goes off, then you get enough of a boost to get into that tiny gap to skip that entire wave fight. I want to say it's like 45 seconds on its own. So we've been theorizing how to get past that door or through that door for years now, that only recently we were like, there's a gap in here, there's a way to get through here. And it wasn't sure, like, what if we throw a grenade and still get the boost but stay crouched while the boost happens. BGM found that, and that was a pretty big one.
And then another small out of bounds here, and this again is just to avoid a save in this this room just below me here.
This weird route through the area is really only because we're playing as Gage and we're getting buck up stacks, we're getting anarchy. This is the part where anarchy is going to build up, and that's going to lead to us having damage to keep up with the end game. So we don't want to save quit and lose our anarchy. We don't want to die because we can lose our anarchy as well. But it's funny trying to run some of the other characters and just out of habit doing that same out of bounds that none of the other characters have to do because they don't have any of the glitches that they have to keep. I think Zero's the fastest non-DLC character. So doing a run of Zero and you're doing that out of bounds, it's like, what am I doing? You can just run through the area. So another out of bounds there. This door is not actually a door. You can just run through it. Nice.
Yeah, that's another small little wave fight there that you can just skip it to by doing that grenade jump. And then we're going to start this cutscene here from out of bounds. This is another thing we recently found. BGM. No, only you, because you don't use the tools we have.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the tools. Okay, got it. Cool. Oops.
And then that jump is actually really sketchy to get back across. And then we have to get back in bounds to do the wave fight. Well, that's what I'm doing here, or the boss fight. Oh, I didn't jump.
I jinxed you. You were just talking about how often I messed that up.
That's fine.
I mean, at least you weren't talking about his cracked aim, right?
Hey, he's an aim bomb now, so I guess we should have been talking that. That's okay. And then that out of bounds, there's a lot of invisible walls around this arena. So there's two different ways that you can get back in bounds. That's been one of the faster ones found recently. Very particular jump to get around invisible walls there. So this is modeling, again, where technically we're super underleveled, but the glitches keep up with our damage very, very well. That blooding just gets obliterated as long as we hit our crits. And there's Bloodwing, she's fine. Everything's fine.
I'm going to do one final dialogue skip, and then every other character would just save quit here to get back to the start. But again, we don't want to get rid of our glitches. So we're going to come back to this elevator, and we're going to crush ourselves to death warp back to the start.
Oh, okay.
And the interesting part about that specific death warp is because we didn't see the animation of our character falling over after bleeding out from Fight for Your Life, we keep our anarchy. It's a weird weird quirk with how they coded losing your anarchy on death. But because we didn't see a falling over animation from bleeding out, we keep all of our anarchy, which is a really important reason that we crush ourselves like that, as opposed to grabbing our launcher and just downing ourselves with that.
Huh. Interesting.
We do it a couple times in the run because death warping is really powerful, but we need to be careful that we still have our anarchy because otherwise we won't have damage at the end of the game.
In here, I'm just gonna grab my
backup. You're back up. I was like, where?
Come on back.
Where did he go? But that makes sense.
Going to deliver that note to a bandit leader.
Have you seen my brother?
Yeah, so we've been dealing with the three of the characters from Borderlands 1 returning in this game as NPCs. We're about to meet the fourth brick. To sort of complete the squad of characters from the original Borderlands 1 game. Just keeping up with backup stacks as well.
One thing I have now too is a skill called Cooking Up Trouble, which is another very big thing with Gage. You see my health is regenerating right now. That doesn't normally happen in Borderlands. You have to always find some way to regen health. And Cooking Up Trouble is a skill that Gage has, where wherever your magazine is full, you regen health. So my magazine's always
since
full.
Since we're not consuming ammo, it's always full. It's not super impactful, but it's just another thing to add on to the list of why Gage is really strong for speedruns.
Yeah, right now it's not super useful, but late game it's incredibly important because there's a feature in this game called Health Gate where you can't actually get one shot by most damage sources. There's a few exceptions. But most of the time, even if you take critical damage, your health will get dropped down to like 10% or something, and then it gives you a chance to heal back up without actually dying. And having Cooking Up Trouble is really nice to allow us to get above Health Gate, so we avoid going down. And now we just gonna wait for it.
Yeah, Rick has minions, and instead we're just gonna take out all his minions, and because of that, he's gonna join us because he's impressed by us. Yeah, it's not quite as singularly impactful as something like Fuck Up is, which is going to get even more broken coming up soon. But it's just another thing to add on to the list of why Gage is a really good character.
Yeah, like every single skill point we get in the speedrun is very useful. And when you compare her to like other characters like Salvador, who have pretty much zero useful skills, it's pretty amazing that she's like the hand-picked skills you want, apparently.
Zero useful skills in a new game.
In a new game, yeah,
Salvador,
that's a very good.
Whenever you can spec every single one of Salvador's skills, Salvador is very broken. But at least in a new game sense, with the limited skill trees that we go down, Gage just every single one is immensely useful.
The amount of buckshot spread around this room right now.
Not even just buckshot, amped up buckshot. Level 15 is the part of the game where amp shields start spawning in. They're Hyperion manufactured, I think. Yeah. Their quality is that for a fraction of your shield capacity, you get a little bit of extra damage onto your shot. Well, on patch 1.1 of the game, which is the one that we're playing on, that extra damage gets applied to every single pellet of the shotgun. So I think he got an 86 damage shotgun, or 86 amp damage shield. Multiply that by 13 pellets of a shotgun is 8. Did you just...
Oh my god.
I went on the floor.
Yeah, speaking of amps, there's just a late game amp on the floor there for me, so
oh my god. It's
very nice.
I'm here. It's because I'm here. You didn't get a single shotgun, but you have actual usable amps. That's a quintessential in my life. Yeah, so the damage, or the shield reduction is offset by the fact that your shield constantly regens. That's the sort of thing that you're hearing is it's getting back to full after consuming the shot, and then it's constantly regenerating, so it makes it very, very good both survivability and damage-wise, which is why Buck Up is so incredibly impactful in a speedrun.
Yeah, it also works really well on this patch specifically because the amp damage gets applied to every pellet of our shotguns. Then on the most recent version of the game, it like distributes the amp damage between the pellets. So I'm basically getting the full 84 damage or whatever I have times the 13 pellets I have on my shotgun.
Yeah, the current patch, it's like not worth it to have an amp shield with a shotgun at all. I guess it still works with a conference call in a sense, but not nearly as impactful. But on this patch, it's just very, very broken. Like you could say, just every enemy is just getting obliterated as soon as it takes a pellet or two. Yeah, so this is a weird part where there's different individual wave fights going on that we need Brick to also run through the area. Oh my god. So Brick has to run through the area, so we want to... Unjust is doing his best to manipulate which enemies he's taking out to make sure Brick's focused on sort of helping us out, in quotations, by being close to his trigger, close to where he needs to progress. It's difficult managing the NPCs in this game.
And so that's another thing between like the main reason why I'm getting so much more buck up is because like my shield's basically full all the time now from enemy damage.
Got something new.
But I'm trying to get to the point where every single one of my shots from my Jacob shotgun is getting amplified. So I'm just going to continuously keep getting buck up throughout the late game to try and get there to that threshold.
And you can have some shields that have like really slow recharge rates or stuff like that. So just the more you stack buck up, the better you make those crappy shields. So at least where we're at this point in the story, Jack is storing the vault key in a secure location at his bunker, but it's super secure and we have to break into it somehow. So part of what we did in Wildlife is we got an upgrade for Claptrap to help him bypass some of Jack's security features. Brick has his minions that we can use to sort of help take down the bunker, and then at this point there's a voice verification at the area that we need to imitate Jack's voice to sort of get past. So we're doing our best to imitate Jack, though they didn't exactly code it for Gage. Once we're done, the whole point of this is it's supposed to be a modulator so that we talk and we sound like Jack. But I guess Jack's voice actor didn't record lines for Gage, so it leads to a very funny interaction. I think it's still play. I don't think it gets skipped.
I don't think so. No. Usually not, at least.
So we're getting all these kiosks to sort of get samples of his voice to put together so that we can imitate him. Again, it's not a difficult area. It's relatively short. It's just go here, hit these things. I mean, technically, Jack's body double was a boss that wasn't really a boss with how much damage we have.
Hey kids, did you know what your mommies and daddies gave up so your family could live in?
Yeah, this area in co-op is actually really funny because it's like literally a minute long. Because there's not really any like big parts that slow down. There's kind of one enemy you're supposed to kill, and then it's just running around the map collecting voice samples. And you can optimize it very heavily in co-op.
I think technically with 4 people, it's up here.
The voice of a douchebag. Great.
You can barely hear it over a little. Whatever. It's funny anyway. But I think with 4 people, you can just have like one person at each of the kiosks and press them in a specific order and get it done in like 40 seconds or something. It's kind of funny how you can optimize some of that stuff with the co-op, which is very fun and Unjust is very good at as well. That they've been running as well, so. definitely go follow them on Twitch so that whenever they do run co-op, it's a very, very different run from this. That is very much worth watching.
And at the start of this mission, the next objective is in Sanctuary, but there's also a lot of dialogue that plays at the start of the map, or at the start of this mission. So on every other character, we would just save quit this dialogue, but again, on Gage, we don't want to save quit. But that also gives me an opportunity to travel out here and just buy grenades. Travel out, buy grenades, and travel straight back. Skip the dialogue.
FYI.
Minion! Let's go to 1,000 cuts!
Or not.
I enlisted you as my minion, then Angel just happened to attack Sanctuary. Don't you get
So if you get tired of not hearing Claptrap during these speedruns, we get more Claptrap. So
Oh no.
it's okay. It's not nearly as slow as the early game was.
There is technically,
if I'm remembering.
one thing that doesn't happen anymore now, because you can make Claptrap move quicker with your FPS, like we were saying at the start of the run. But before, it used to kind of just be an RNG check here, where Claptrap would sometimes move quickly, sometimes not. And if he doesn't move quickly, he'll start talking. And for some reason, he cannot start moving while he's talking. So generally, if he doesn't move here, he'd have to wait for like an extra 5-6 seconds or something for him to move. So it's just another random line of dialogue, basically, that can lose you 6 seconds. So when we say every time Claptrap, like every move trigger Claptrap has, he can lose you time, we do literally mean every move trigger.
And also just casual, like the 3 previous areas that we were at were all getting us ready so that we can just get past this barrier that we just jumped around anyway. It's the annoying part from a speedrun perspective, from how Gearbox codes the main story. It is incredibly tightly coded that you cannot progress to the next part until you do the previous one. So there's not really too many true sequence skips that you can get in these games because they just code the main story incredibly solidly.
Yeah, from this point on, like every main story mission has like an area you're supposed to go to. Like there's some obstacle you have to overcome, so you go to this area to overcome the obstacle. But we have strategies where we can just get around that obstacle entirely, but it doesn't help us for the speedrun because the main story is just coded very well.
Bitches! Open up!
So here I actually have to slow down quite a bit to clear all these enemies, because the enemy we need to spawn will get locked out if there's too many spawns on the map.
Yeah, it doesn't come up too much in solo, but it comes up a ton in co-op. But there's an enemy limit to how many enemies can be in the map at one time, and you can lock yourself out of progress very easily if the right enemy just doesn't spawn, because that cap is relatively low. But that was a super badass constructor that just dies very quickly because we still have a lot of damage.
And coming up here is the bunker, which is quite an infamous map in this category because it's pretty much entirely RNG. There's basically 11 turrets that spawn around the map in a random order, and they're like fairly spaced out. So if you get them spawning on opposite sides of the arena, you can spend a lot of time just running back and forth. And then the boss fight in this map itself can also have quite a bit of randomness with it. So this is kind of where speedruns go to die. It's you get a really good pace.
If they haven't died already.
Yeah.
They haven't died already during the other 2 just gun RNG sections.
Yeah, you get that at a good pace, and then this splits a huge nail-biter. An okay start so far.
It's also kind of a part where your gun RNG can sort of affect this part as well, because optimally you're staying in one central spot and just trying to snipe as best you can with shotguns. That if you get a shotgun with a really poor part, your accuracy can just go all over the place and make it more difficult to sort of snipe these turrets from far away.
Yeah, I'm not getting great spawns here. I got this one in the back all by itself, which is really not what you want. Yeah, these are about as bad as spawns as you can get, which is just perfect. Typical GDQ luck.
No, typical GDQ luck is preemptively saying that like you can literally sit here forever and not get the guns and just get them first try.
That is actually true.
I can't count how many GDQ runs that has happened in between the
positive instant karma.
Between the game's been out for 13 years. That's
yeah, 13 years.
Since like GDQ 2014, I want to say, is when the 4-player run was. And just the amount of times that this can take a while. We have backups. It's okay. We won't stay here for too long. And oh, just kidding. We get our first try. Alright, so story-wise, like we're trying to infiltrate the bunker, and here's where we find out that
I'd protect Angel with nothing but a couple of bots and some flimsy turrets. You see, you're not at the bunker right now. The bunker isn't a place.
yeah, not quite.
That's the bunker. Meet the BNK-3R, the greatest
So
defense
yeah, with this fight, the bunker can fly around, and sometimes he can just decide to fly around for like a solid minute before he comes in close to attack you. This is a pretty good cycle. It's not the best, but it's a decent one.
Yeah, there's two different RNG parts and two different things that it can do. So it can either perch up over here, which is really close and really fast, or it can perch up on the other side of the arena, which is really slow. And then once it perches, it can do one of two things. It can either sit completely still, where you can just get up in its face and shove a bunch of bullets in its crit spot and kill it really quickly, or it can fly back and forth, which makes it very, very difficult to actually get a lot of crits and kill it quickly. So you got the good location, but the bad, I guess, movement pattern.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I'll take it. But yeah, in co-op it's a lot worse because the bunker just works weirdly in co-op sometimes, and you can, like I said, just fly around for a really long time.
4 amps that you have?
I don't really know. It's very weird. I'm not used to being this spoiled with amps.
I'm sorry. / you're welcome.
There you go.
Test subjects escaped the Hyperion Preserve. As amusing as it might be to see them attempt to reintegrate into society, they must be put
Yeah, we did all this to sort of imitate Jack's voice, and we just skipped Jack's voice dialogue anyway.
Ironic.
This is a really long elevator, so I'm going to hit the button to update the quest, and then do a little out of bounds to skip the elevator.
Gonna get the dunk. Gonna get the dunk. You got it. Yeah.
Whee!
That's very difficult because you're going kind of blind. You can very easily hit some of the corners there. So this is the most fun part, I say extremely sarcastically, of any Borderlands speedrun. Control Core Angel. Every time there's a marathon run, it gets brought up because it's sort of a pipe dream at this point. But technically, there is a bounty out there from everyone who's in chat of if you can figure out how to skip parts that the injectors of this wave fight, you will pay out money to do that. But we've been going at it for 8 years or so. And,
oh wow!
And it's so incredibly tightly coded that we haven't figured out a way to do that. So it ends up just being a 5-ish minute wave fight that we just kind of sit and wait for spawns to come through. That's the thing that sort of slows everything down, is just waiting for the spawns. So we started the wave fight and can't do anything. Okay, now we can.
So you said wave fight, but that's a really odd way to pronounce announcement time.
That is a very weird way to put it.
my moment to shine,
you
chat.
Have 5 minutes to say whatever you want.
Buckle up, folks. We've got some announcements for you. Number 1, coming up September 7th to the 14th, is Frame Fatales' GDQ's all-women FM speedrunning community hosting Flame Fatales. Again, that's running September 7th to the 14th. The schedule is now live at gamesdonequick.com/schedule/58. Specifically 58. Type FF in chat, exclamation point FF in chat for information on how to join the Discord and stay up to date with all things Frame Fatales. Additionally, another one of our awesome GDQ communities, Black in a Flash, is a community that uplifts and connects black speedrunners of all levels, hosting special events throughout the year to raise money for charity and celebrate black voices in the speedrunning scene. Learn more or apply to get involved at gdq.gg/BAF and follow at Black in a Flash on Blue Sky for the latest updates. And since we are still just peppering this arena with shotgun shells, I am going to continue. If you are curious about what's coming up on Hotfix, either the rest of this week or next week, I'm not sure if the next week's schedule's up yet, but should it be, you can check out what's coming up on Hotfix and check out this week's schedule and explore our full season lineup at gdq.gg/hotfix. And speaking of other events that are going on, PAX West and TwitchCon are both happening. PAX West is happening August 29th to September 1st. Visit gdq.gg/PAX West to check out the schedule for that. That schedule is stacked, by the way. You're definitely going to want to check out that schedule. And you can also visit west.paxsite.com to learn more about the event. That's PAXSITE, paxsite.com, west.paxsite.com. And then also TwitchCon, the submissions for running, like the run submission period has opened today. It actually opened today, and it is running through August 13th. But that is going to be GDQ Express at TwitchCon in San Diego from October 17th to the 19th. You can learn more at twitchcon.com and also visit gdq.gg/submit if you want to submit your runs. They are also looking for hosts, so if you qualify for hosting, you can also apply for that. And then last but not least, Hotfix sells merch now. We actually have a merch lineup of a Hotfix shirt, a keychain, and a sticker pack. So if you want to check that out, that is over at theyeti.com/GDQ. Yeti is spelled YETEE, like T, like t-shirt. Yeti, theyeti.com/GDQ. And you can check out the merch line over there. I have no more announcements. Are we still doing a fight here?
Oh, yeah,
We're still doing a fight here. It's we can go over, like, there is still, you can very easily lose time in this, even though it's effectively an auto scroller, just by getting like really poor animation spawns, really poor enemy spawns. And there's a couple things that we've found to speed things up. The dialogue skips to skip dialogue. Did you just despawn Lilith?
Yes, I despawned Lilith.
Got it.
There's one small trick here which we found it helps. It's a very weird strat where Lilith here, she shows up about halfway through the fight to come help you. And if you stand where she teleports in, like the exact spot, she'll actually just kind of sit out of bounds on a platform where she's just waiting there. And this seems to kind of manipulate her into teleporting Roland up top here a bit quicker. It's a really weird strat, and no one knows how it works really. All we know is that it seems to make it more consistent, so we do it.
And even weirder is it's keeping with the NPC manipulation is Roland runs around the arena to help us. We only found out relatively recently that he just follows you around the arena, so we can lead him to where he needs to be for the next part of the objective, and that saves, if he's in the wrong spot, it can save like 30 seconds of him running to the other side of the arena.
Yeah, so a couple things to speed up, but nothing Or sorry, a few things
Nothing to
that
actually
can
skip
slow you
stuff.
down, but yeah.
Also, I see friends in chat have been putting the commands in chat. I see you, friends. Thank you.
The engineers working in the Hyperion Preserve are still alive.
One final dialogue skip, and then the final cutscene. This is another thing that only Gage has to deal with, is watching these cutscenes, the one at the start of this area, and this one here. If you save quit right now, it'll skip this cutscene and put you just after it.
This isn't over yet.
So it's like with all these little things that Gage can't do because she needs to preserve buck-up stacks, it's pretty remarkable that she is still the fastest character.
Which, if you haven't played Borderlands, spoilers, I guess. Sorry, a little late on that. But, approaching a speedrun. Come on.
Oh no! Spoilers in a speedrun.
Don't pick a fight with a man with nothing left to lose. See, I'm gonna show you just how much
Yeah,
you have to
I think this is the only run where you see the like cross co-op, all the other characters geared, ungeared. I think this is the only one that you actually see the cutscene for.
Yep, that's the only one in the whole game. And this is Marcus' storeroom. I hope you enjoyed your stay, because we saw none of it. And we're back in
That's where all the bullets were stored.
Alright, and now at this point is another really big jump in terms of what level the game expects you to be. And so at this point is where we're like really kind of crossing our fingers in every map to not get just completely obliterated by all the enemies.
Yeah, the section coming up is, I'd venture to say, one of the most difficult in the run. Even more difficult than some of the later sections. Just because they're all at a point where just you're so overleveled that just getting more, or so underleveled that just getting even more underleveled doesn't change anything because you're already so underleveled. But this area coming up, it just has a whole bunch of enemies in a really tight, confined space that makes it very easy for them to down you. So it's one you can lose a lot of time on, and very easily die. So it's a big driving section. The way that the game is sort of structured, in a sense, is that there's your main hub world in Sanctuary, and then you have like 3 minor hub maps where all of the sections of the map sort of spawn out of that hub map. So we had 3 Horns initially at the very start, then we had Highlands, and now we're into the 3rd one, which is Iridium Blight, where the rest of the game is going to sort of spawn off of.
Welcome to the Iridium Blight.
And interesting now, when I got to it finally, like the first time playing, I was like, this is very different from the rest of the ice waste of the first couple maps to the greenery of Highlands. Very different vibe. So you were just talking about that railing before and how much it can mess with your driving. And you like completely like avoid it entirely, basically.
And there's a small car strat right here where you can fling yourself up the cliff there and take a slightly more direct line to the next map here.
He says slightly, it's a very, very more direct line, because otherwise you have to go all the way around that little crack section underneath. You circle back around, it saves a good amount of time just by getting that, and it's just fancy driving. Alright, so Sawtooth Cauldron. Very notorious, very difficult part of the map.
Finding my amp in the sea of amps I have is actually difficult. So yeah, this right here is just a bandit camp, and it's just this like, you know, this like really condensed area full of a ton of spawns generally. I got a little spawn locked right now, which is kind of nice. Spawn locking generally is a bad thing because you need, you know, certain spawns to progress. In this area, it's kind of what you want to minimize the amount of enemies shooting you.
And we didn't mention it before, but after he killed Bunker, he expect him to another one of Gage's really, really strong skills, which is Unstoppable Force, which is that little yellow icon on the bottom corner of his head, which every time you get a kill, you get a move speed buff, just adding on to how Gage is very, very strong as a speedrun character.
Also,
So this is
resets
also
your
where-
shield a little bit too, but that's less relevant when you have bucked up already.
Yeah. It's also the part where he mentioned earlier about health gate comes into play a ton in this end game. So if he's at, as long as he's above half health, he cannot be killed by any one attack. So it just increases your survivability a ton, especially with the picking up trouble health regeneration. He took a hit that brought him down to health gate to really low health, but didn't kill him. That now he's above it, he can take another really big attack to survive it again and keep going. So this is the part where if you're playing any of the other characters in a speedrun sense, you're pretty much expecting to die at least once. Just because you're so underleveled and just have very little survivability.
I'm actually getting like really lucky here because all the enemies are spawning with really weak guns.
Don't say that.
Runner's curse? Whee!
Yeah, small little flame
the
there.
collision on that's really weird that you can just take that and fling as long as you land in the right spot.
Yeah, so at this point is past most of the scary bits, but up here you can still get pretty unlucky. But we have decent gear, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, down below it's more of can you survive through everything. Here it's you have a lot of flying enemies. Can you make it so you can kill the flying enemies before they fly away without dying? So you have to kill these 5 buzzard spawns. 1, you have to get them to spawn, and 2, you have to kill them before they fly away.
They all spawn in the worst spot.
There's some manipulation you can do. The game doesn't, for flying enemies, the game doesn't track you when your character's in the air very well. So if you're in the air while flying enemies spawn, they won't fly away. But to do that effectively, you just have to spam jump and hope you don't miss an input.
Also,
if
you're trying to jump while you're getting shot, you sometimes can't because bullets have a little bit of knockback in this game. So getting shot means you're in the air, so you can't jump while you're in the air. So that can also screw you up a little bit in this section. But that was a very, very clean sawtooth, all things considered.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think he got downed at all, even.
I don't think
Which is really good.
How I do?
I saw that.
And yeah, now at this point, whereas like in the early game I was killing a lot for XP, I'm mostly getting kills now to proc Unstoppable Force and get a little bit more movement speed through the area. XP is still nice, it's just unlikely that it's going to play a huge factor anymore.
Yeah, like if you're low on XP, level 19 is just where you finish the game at, which we're getting relatively close to, but the difference between level 19 and 20, whenever you're killing the level 33 boss, it doesn't make much of a difference.
It actually makes more of a difference than you think, but just a little bit less damage reduction.
Yeah, so you might kill a little bit faster, but at the end of the day, it's
it's mostly due to your gear, but important.
Yeah. And then since Unstoppable Force is the first kill skill that we actually have, it's like one of the few parts where it actually comes into play. Technically, killing cars activates kill skills. So that's why Unjust killed his car as soon as he got out of it, so that he gets the Unstoppable Force from killing the car. So we'll do it a handful of times throughout the rest of the run to activate that and get a little bit more move speed. So another tough area of a confined space with very difficult enemies that can kill you immediately. So it's a lot of just take as best of a route as you can and sort of pray that they don't down you, and if they do down you, make sure you have a second wind handy.
And this area here that I'm entering right now is one of the scariest parts of the run. Even more scary than Sawtooth.
It's probably the scariest individual part. Sawtooth as a whole is just terrifying, but this small, like, 20-second area is probably more individually terrifying, especially when you get enemies with launchers.
I don't know how I'm alive right now. I guess I'm not. I misspoke.
Ooh. Yeah, the downside of sort of our loadout right now is a lot of our damage is based on our shield. So oh Jesus. So whenever you're down, you don't have a shield, so you don't get damage from the shield. This is another one. So we mentioned at Bloodwing. Oh, nice. At Bloodwing, where you lose your anarchy stacks whenever you sort of fall over. So we do we're death warping out here, but we death warp in a very particular way that we don't see that falling over animation. So we still preserve. It's only a 116 right now out of the max 150 that we had before, but it still makes a difference that you still want to keep that. Still, what?
Yeah, so right there, I
Almost 200% additional damage.
Yeah, it's very important to get my anarchy stacks. I let them down me before I went into the death plane there. And we got a very hectic pump station too. Like I got an army on me back there. Like I've never seen that many enemies. So thankfully this one was a lot more tame.
Yeah, because all the enemies are still down there. So you spawn lock yourself up here.
And all of this map was to overload this pump station, or this pump.
So we can climb through the pump.
So we can climb through it, but it turns out you can just drive up this cliff here. That's okay.
No.
Typically it puts you up top there. That was kind of weird, but we can just grenade jump for a backup.
Learn your backups, folks.
That's the grenade jump is the way we used to just do it normally before we realized that driving up the cliff there is actually pretty easy.
It's what you still doing in the co-op runs. So you have one of your co-op characters just hits the pipe, and the other one you travel immediately after the pipe bursts. Not quite how they intended for you to do it, but yeah. So this is a fun area in that it's an homage to the first area of Borderlands 1. So after that grenade jump, right over here, this is the starting area of Borderlands 1. So really cool callback there that I didn't get initially whenever I first played this first time casually, because I played 2 before 1.
This is giving me PTSD seeing this area again. That first boss fight trolled me so hard. So hard.
This is Saturn. He has no crit spots on him, and about half of our damage is crit. So we don't have the tools to fight him. Thankfully, there's no objective tied to fighting him. So we're gonna summon Death Trap there and hope he just keeps him busy for us while we run away from him.
He had to exploit her for profit and power too. Don't listen, Vault Hunter. He killed Angel long before you pulled the plug.
And then again, all these enemies we don't need to fight, so we're just running straight past them.
Great job. Lilith has quite the little mouth on it, doesn't she?
This grenade jump's really nifty too. Instead of having to climb all the stairs, the dialogue overlaps itself too. So if you get the grenade jump right, the dialogue just overlaps itself to skip dialogue without having to use a quest swap to do it.
Yeah, right
that's
there.
Fun immediately.
Pick up the echo. You usually have to wait, but to do that grenade jump, it's it. And that was also
And this
very
is just
smooth.
it's you're not fully in the clear until you actually travel out, at least in my experience. But yeah, that was very clean. Once you finish that, it's just book it to the travel and hope nothing follows you.
Alright, and now we're on the final mission.
Ooh. Talon of God. So if anyone missed Claptrap, you're in luck because we get to deal with him.
Oh no!
Hyperion's locked the entrance to Heroes.
So yeah,
we found where the vault is. Jack locked a door behind it, but Claptrap can open it for us. And we can't progress to the final area unless Claptrap opens the door for us.
Okay, I have to make the joke now because Claptrap returned after so long. Jack Black is Jack back.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
See, someone in chat earlier, I think it was during the break, mentioned like they were gonna make a joke about the Borderlands movie, but that required people to actually watch the Borderlands movie.
Yep.
It was
I actually haven't seen it.
It was fine.
I have it. I have not watched it, but I have it.
Wait.
But I'm scared to watch it.
Like physically own?
Yes.
I am sorry.
Yeah. It was a gift, unfortunately. I think the person does not like me, and that's why they gave it to me. So
that's more likely.
So this is the door we need Claptrap to open. And there is
Again,
a
we
grenade jump.
have to wait for him to get to the door too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a long walk from over there.
if you missed waiting for Claptrap from the first half, it's the same thing, but Sans save quits. So. And it's a similar wave fight. I don't want to say similar to Control Core Angel, but similar enough fashion that we're just kind of waiting for spawns. Not nearly as bad, but in a similar vein, we're just kind of kill away, wait for Claptrap, kill away, wait for Claptrap.
See, chat is confirming that there actually was no Borderlands movie, and it was all just a hallucination, folks. There was no movie, obviously. We just hallucinated the whole thing. It's a gigantic Mandela effect that we imagined a whole movie.
Honestly, fair. That explains a lot more.
Dispatching additional troops.
The Borderlands movie exists in the same way that Devil May Cry 2 exists, apparently.
I got a new amp, didn't I? I did, right.
You have like 4 amps. I'm sure you have a new amp at probably this point and next point too.
There are these turrets that spawn. Normally you can't actually kill them, at least not with the gear we have, because we got this bubble around that reduces pretty much all the damage that goes through it. Are you gonna shove your shotgun through the bubble and kill the turret anyway?
Additional troops.
It's very nice because they do a lot of damage to you.
Yeah, if we had time, we'd probably kill both of them, but we really only have the time to kill the one until the next wave fight starts. This is the part where the wave fight actually gets difficult and has a lot more strategy along with it because of those flying surveyors. Less so the regular surveyors, but in the second wave, we get a lot of badass surveyors that spawn that we try to manipulate the enemies as best as possible so that we can actually kill them while they're flying around. If we do it wrong, then it's just kind of firing bullets into the sky and hoping they hit the surveyor properly. So typically what we try and do is wound some of the enemies on the outside, specifically outside of the door, because the ones inside the door, they won't heal for whatever reason. But so this reloader right here, if it's wounded, the surveyor will come and repair it, since it's a repair surveyor, and it gets close enough that we can actually kill it with our shotgun shots without it flying away. Yeah, so that badass repair surveyor would be very, very difficult to kill if we didn't win the enemies for it to come down. Oh, we have level up bonus for it. Nice. The first couple of level up bonuses are routed out very well, and then the other ones are just, if you get them, you get them.
Yeah,
so we needed Claptrap to open this door.
Yeah, there's no way past the door without Claptrap, everyone. Not a single way past the door.
Yeah, we were looking
not using any of the shenanigans you've been doing all run long.
Yeah, there's one point where I was routing bingo for this, and I didn't consider that you could just do this and have access to the last area as soon as you got access to Iridium Blight, so it messed with all the bingo routing that I had. It was very great. So second to last area here, this is sort of the big fight rush to get to the final boss arena, and it's very nerve-wracking, especially if you're on a really good pace, because again, this is a lot of waves of enemies that are very high leveled that can very easily kill you or at a minimum, shoot you at the wrong time that it messes with your movement throughout the area. So we have a lot of grenade jumps here to skip areas. This is a nerve-wracking one too.
Yeah, and there's no actual objectives through this map, so it is just a race to the end of the map. Normally, there's a bunch of fights you're supposed to do and work your way through it. It's a grenade I'm jumping gonna go for.
Yeah, no, you threw that. I'm like, dude, no, you don't get that.
Yeah, I threw that a little early, yeah.
Yeah, but here you have enemies with snipers. That snipers are big burst damage that'll break through our buck-up stacks. You can get RPG loaders that have rocket launchers that do that. You could... Yeah, you're...
My shield's really
good.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally if you get an elemental dot put on you, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. It'll go through your shield in one tick.
And then some neat parkouring over here to get around some of the enemies that spawn right over there as well.
That jump over that
nerve-wracking jump
is deceptively. It doesn't look like anything, but it's actually quite precise and it's very sketchy. And then this one looks kind of sketchy, but it's very consistent.
And the last two difficult parts. There's two high-level enemies that spawn right here.
Oh, he got toward weapons. He's hurt.
Yeah. But does he have...
I think we're fine. He just got anything. I'm just overheated and scared.
That's fair.
I think we're fine. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
They can spawn with very high damage weapons sometimes, and it's very scary.
Yeah. If they spawn with an SMG, you're fine, because it's not high enough burst damage, but most other weapons, and it's a bit sketchy. This is the final boss area. Last little bit of the run. As if it wasn't nerve-wracking enough at the end. Some more nerve-wracking parkour to get to the... There's an elevator you have to take that we're not going to do. We're just going to use some grenade jumps to get to the arena instead.
This is reminding me a lot of the end of Doom 3.
Just with like all the lava and stuff.
The lava and the platforming on the rocks.
Yeah, those two jumps there are quite sketchy because some of the terrain you can't walk on there. So it's if you're like make one wrong move, you fall and your run's over. So on record pace runs, sometimes it's really nerve-wracking. But here we are at the final boss.
Final boss. Jack, we've been sort of hearing his dialogue throughout the round. I don't know how much of it we skip and how much of it we actually listen to. Big Bad, honestly one of the best villains in gaming, even though we don't listen to him as much in the speedrun. But he kind of...
Shout out to Damian Clark.
He kind of just dies really quickly in the speedrun. It's
just bye.
Yeah, like we said, we have a lot of damage. It's just the survivability, and especially with his pattern there, he goes to spawn. Once his shield breaks, he spawns shield surveyors and whatnot, that he just kind of sits still for us to unload a whole bunch of shots into his crit spot.
Yeah, damage isn't a huge issue in this run. The only reason we really need like an upgraded shotgun is for the warrior, the final boss. This is just like the biggest damage check in the run, of course. But Gage really has like enough tools to get by everything else without an upgraded shotgun. But for this boss, you really need all you can get.
Yeah, luckily he has a massive crit spot in his chest that we can unload a lot of bullets into.
Really? I don't see it. Where is this massive crit spot that you're speaking of?
Actually, his face can be a crit spot if we need to. Interesting. The big glowing thing in his chest. Shoot bullets there. Ideally, if you have really good gear, you can get a 1 cycle. But typically, you sort of hope for a 3 or 4 cycle. Unfortunately, we got a slow 3 cycle.
Might be a 4 cycle.
Yeah. If we have to do enough. We have to do enough damage to get Well, it's so we have to do enough damage, typically where the health bar is in between the words the and warrior. If we get to that point, then he goes into his death cycle. But that place he was at before is where his death cycle is. So if you death cycle him while he's already at the death cycle spot, you have to wait even longer.
Oh, geez.
So sometimes a 4 cycle is just better than a slow 3 cycle.
All right, so that is the warrior fight. There's one
I'm
final
going to come up relatively soon.
And the time comes up in about 20 seconds now. I can push the button. Pick up pistols for one.
Get loot instead of... This was more important.
Raining loot.
What'd you get? Cool.
All right, time coming up. Right now.
GG's.
All right, that went pretty well.
That went really well.
That was a clean run. This is really good.
Yeah, aside from typical Borderlands RNG with weapons. But we're just
I
screw
mean,
it. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna happen. But yeah, tell everybody where we can find you on the internet.
All right, yeah, you can follow me at Unjust Action on Twitch. I speedrun, or I stream all my runs there.
If I never see this key
CZ,
again.
your Twitch is ZZ Rules 21, I believe.
Yep. Yep. Twitch, YouTube. Unjust, he's been grinding this game for, what is it, 6 years or so?
Coming up on 10, actually.
Holy moly.
I mean, like, seriously, guys, we started grinding this category around the same time. And he's just surpassed anything that I anticipated when I first saw you pop up on the leaderboards. But when it comes to solo, co-op, they did a run at GDQ 24 co-op BL2, and it was a phenomenal run. They're just phenomenal Borderlands runners. So if anything Borderlands 2 related, Unjust is sort of the one you want to keep an eye out for. Pop runs, solo runs, loot randomizer bingo that you guys have been doing recently. One Life's just anything Borderlands. It's you'll find it on Unjust channel.
Yeah, and if anyone's interested in picking up this game, we have tutorials for all the major categories. We have a speedrun Discord full of all of our resources and a bunch of people there who would love to help you out, answer any questions. So feel free to come and say hi. Pick up the run.
Yeah,
Very nice.
The fun thing about Borderlands is that regardless of what character you like, there is a speedrun for you. If you like Gage, any percent. If you like Zero, he's the fastest non-DLC character and the fastest new game plus character. If you like Salvador, he's the fastest geared character. If you like Axton, he's the fastest co-op character. If you like Maya, she's the fastest, second fastest now? The longest time she's been the fastest current patch glitchless quote-unquote character. And if you like Krieg, he's Krieg. But it's a fun run. So regardless of who you like in Borderlands, there is a speed run that you will enjoy if you like that character. So.
Nice. Well, thank you both for showing it off. We'll have to get you back at some point in the future so that you can show off the vastly superior Borderlands 3. That was a joke, chat. That was a joke. Chill. Don't bite my head off. I was kidding.
You joke. The Borderlands 3 speedrun has come a long way since the game came out. That it is a very
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless of what you think about the game casually, it is a very fun speedrun that actually our co-op partner Deceptix is one of the top guys over there for that it's a fun run to watch. That it's been on GDQ before. That
it is very good. Yeah.
100%. It's a very fun run to watch.
But it hasn't been on Crosshair before, so we're gonna get that shown at some point. We'll make it happen. But yeah, thank you both again for showing this off. This was a ton of fun. And folks, yeah, absolutely, folks. All good things must come to an end, and so too it must be that Crosshair comes to an end this evening. But fear not, the GDQ Hotfix, which is also a good thing, is not over yet, because coming up next is Speedruns from the Crypt. So stick around for some spoopy speedruns. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Crosshair. And yeah, that's all we got for you. So as always, no matter what your dreams, goals, or hopes are in this world, always keep them in your crosshair. We'll see you next time.